Hi everyone. It's cold here today. It got really warm to the point of wearing shorts and tank tops. Certainly in the afternoon when I was sitting in the sun, sitting on the porch in the sun, and then all of a sudden it got really cold. It's freezing here. Like we're worried about our plants. So today is Friday. So yesterday was 2 weeks from round 6 of chemo, and yesterday I met with the oncologist. This is the first time I've met with the oncologist since the initial diagnosis. I've met with the surgeon since then, and everyone else in his office except him. But I met with the oncologist yesterday, and looked at the scans of specifically my lungs and the breast. They didn't do my brain or anything to see if what the treatment's been working. Now we already knew that it was working because A, I could feel the shrinkage, and B, I had an ultrasound halfway through, and we did find a little bit of a tumor in the breast, but we didn't find anything in the lymph nodes. And then the scans that I did on Tuesday that we looked at yesterday uh, showed the lungs and a much better scan of the breast and the lymph nodes. We didn't find anything in the lymph nodes. We didn't find anything in the breast. They just looked crystal clear. And unfortunately, or fortunately, well, depends on how you look at it, we didn't find anything in the lungs either. There may have been one spot that maybe, but that's good news and bad news. It's good news because the treatment is definitely working, but the bad news is those nodes that were splattered through my lungs, like somebody had taken paint and just I mean, when from the last scans back in November, were completely gone, which means they were in fact cancer, which means they were not scar tissue from being a farmer and breathing in dust, or from pneumonia, which I don't remember ever having pneumonia, or from bronchitis. It was actually cancer. And I do remember that right the day that I went in for my biopsy, I had just started noticing, this is way back when I had just had the mammogram and just getting the first biopsy, that I started going. So unfortunately, what that means is my tumor in my breast popped out to the point where I could feel it and start seeking treatment just in the nick of time, because it was riddled throughout my lungs, and it was too small for them to biopsy at that point. But I was on my way to becoming an extremely, extremely sick person. But I guess we headed it off at the pass. It also means that my official diagnosis is stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and that's bad news because that's a 20% chance of survival 3 years out. So that was a big reason why I really was hoping it was pneumonia scars. So next week I start phase 2, and phase 2 is no chemotherapy, but they're keeping me on something called Herceptin and Perjeta, and that's specific to HER2 positive breast cancer. I will be getting that in an injection in my port every 3 weeks for an undisclosed amount of time. I mean, the oncologist was telling me he had one patient that did it for 7 years before she finally just gave up. It's like, I'm not doing it anymore. So that's kind of, I mean, I haven't gone on like a 6-month backpacking trip through fun, exotic places in decades anyway, but still, it means that I can never be more than 3 weeks away from an oncology center for, with this pharmaceutical for quite an extended period of time. So that's kind of disappointing. And the other disappointment is these 2 drugs that they're going to have me on potentially cause heart damage, liver damage, and are definitely giving me really bad heartburn, pains in my stomach aches, and diarrhea. And so the bad news is that even though I've stopped chemo and the rest of the symptoms will go away, my hair will come back. But I'm going to be stuck with diarrhea, so we're in this trying to figure out how to resolve that. In the meantime, the other part of phase 2 is surgery, and they're thinking a lumpectomy followed by radiation. And then they told me that the lumpectomy, which I don't know how much they're going to take out. I don't think they're going to find anything. And then what they do take out, they'll have to take out something because it needs to go to the pathologist. So they'll have to take out something. but there's kind of some suggestion that there might be a rather substantial uh, hole or dent in my breast. And then with the radiation, it like tightens it up. And they're suggesting that I might have one breast significantly smaller than the other, and that I'm going to want plastic surgery afterwards. I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, anyway, like, we'll address that when it comes to it. But I was not kind of thinking that I wanted plastic surgery for any reason ever. Yeah. So anyway, so that's where I am now. So next Wednesday I have Herceptin and Perjeta with no chemotherapy. So that'll be a new adventure. And in the meantime, I'm waiting to hear from the breast surgeon who also wants me to simultaneously meet with a plastic surgeon. And I'm actually kind of really disappointed. I'm 53 years old. I don't want to deal with cosmetic surgery. I just don't want to deal with it. Anyway, but the good news is that we couldn't find any cancer. Yay, yippee. Um, and spring's coming. That's also really good news. So the next time I have, well, I might be feeling better that I can do these more often in the future, with any luck, hopefully so. And and he also told me that it's time to start pushing myself because I get like exhausted and out of breath and I can hardly stand. He's like, some of that should, the chemotherapy element of that is going away. Now you're dealing with fitness. So now it's time to start pushing yourself. So yay, I get to get back into working out. So I'm very excited about that. I'm looking forward to going for a run on the beach. All right, so thank you everybody for being here. I hope that your spring is wonderful. Happy holidays. It is Sunday, it's Easter, today's Good Friday. And I love you all and thank you for all your support and I will talk to you later. Bye.